Smash Engineering.
Sing along.
You need to know that I'm a rider. Tonight we gonna set the street.
What's going on, YouTube? Today's video is going to be about a 2000 Chevy Tracker, and it is sponsored by absolutely no one because we are so new here at this channel. But every view I get shows me that there is someone out there that enjoyed it, or at least clicked on it by accident. Who knows? But anyway, we're working on a 2000 Chevrolet Tracker. The radio on it has seemingly stopped working, and the horn on it sounds like it belongs on a kid's bike. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, by the way, I'm not actually going to be wearing this hat. It looks really goofy. If I was doing construction, maybe, but today we're just going to be working on a car. Let's get along and go. All right, so we're at our local U-Pull, and I mean, this is a great place to get random things to help in the projects. So we're just going to take a stroll around here. I am here for a couple different actual parts, but I figured, you know, bring you guys along with me and take a look-see. Take a look what we got here. But yeah, your local U-Pull, I mean, you can get a lot of random things pretty cheap. Interesting. And oh look, the motor fell right out of that one. Someone took something out. Transmission, it looks like. But yeah, so I will check with you momentarily. All right, YouTube. So one of the problems a friend of mine is having with their vehicle is that when you're in heavy traffic and you, I don't know, the light goes green and no one goes, and you wait, you know, you're good 5 minutes, and you want to let them know politely that they should go, and your horn sounds like this. That's just kind of suggestive. It's kind of like, would you please maybe sometime in the next millennial find out where your gas pedal is? So what we're gonna do today is I've taken a horn off of a different vehicle, a truck, and it's a two-tone horn, and so it should be quite a bit louder. And we're gonna go ahead and remove this little junky piece of crap, and we're gonna see about getting that mounted. Now the plug is probably not going to be the same, and I accounted for that by getting the plug off of the donor vehicle. So I will get back with you as soon as I have this swapped out. As you can see, the plug on the vehicle is way different than the plug on the new horn, but not going to be a problem. We're just going to go ahead and splice these wires into there, and as you can see, it's already color coded correctly. So your black will be your ground or your negative, and then, I'm sorry, it's not your ground, it's your negative, and then the green will be your power, and it just will work the same when you click your horn. It's going to do both these horns instead of just the single tone one. So I'll be right back when I have it soldered together. All right, a quick tip too when you're soldering wire. I know most of you probably will know this if you dabble with this type of thing. This is flux core wire. But whenever you're dealing with automotive stuff, it's always greasy. Your hands are greasy. Everything is contaminated. So a good trick that I like to use is this acid paste flux. It's more for like plumbing and stuff, but it works really well for cleaning off the wires so that you get a nice, good, solid connection when you're doing this. Also, make sure you take some heat shrink, slide it on the wires before you solder it. That way you can slide it over it, heat shrink it. It's going to look like near OEM anyway. So just a little quick tip there. And just remember, people, it doesn't have to be an expensive tool to be an effective tool. This is my Harbor Freight heat gun. You can see that it is pretty well worn. I've had this for many years, and it works great. And so we're going to use the heat gun. We're going to heat gun these. You can zoom in over here. We're going to heat gun these heat shrink tubing, and then I got some good old Harbor Freight electrical tape. We're going to tape up the rest. You just want to, you know, protect it as much as you can. These wires just flapping around in here willy-nilly, get caught up in a fan belt or something like that. It's not going to be a good day. So, well, at least your horn will stop working. And when people are waiting for 5 years at a stoplight and the light happens to be green, you want to be able to politely say, "Get the hell out of my way." So. All right, now we got it all taped and soldered and what have you, and we're gonna go ahead and plug this in for a test fire. There was no way to test the horns at the salvage yard, but I did test them when I got home with the wiring harness I got, and I did verify that they do work. So yeah, it might be a good idea too, to before you go cutting your harness and soldering and what have you, you might want to check to make sure your horn setup works. So we're going to get this wired in, and then we're also going to figure out how to mount this. Maybe a self-tapping screw will be just fine, but we'll figure it out. So the stock location for the horn wasn't big enough. I didn't have enough clearance in there. So I removed the front grille, and luckily there's all this empty space in here. So I went ahead and made it work. There was already a hole here. I didn't have to drill that. In fact, there was already a bolt here, so I just literally clamped my horn bracket in there, and I've got it plugged in now. And I had to bend these back a little bit on the bracket just to make sure that the grill will clearance properly, but we're getting there. We're almost done. Okay, so another thing that we did, and I apologize I didn't cover this, and due to plastic being so fragile, it's not exactly summer yet, so the plastic is very fragile. I don't want to take it off and kind of show how I did it, but this is the grill that came on this vehicle. It was color matched, it was faded, so we went ahead and got this chrome one from the salvage yard and went ahead and put that on for him, and I sent him a picture. He's freaking out. He's loving it, and so I think we're doing good here. So another thing is, when you are taking these apart, you got to be careful. You got to watch for these. These are the clips, and they are stubborn. You will snap. You will crack the plastic. But yeah, this one is just very faded. The Chevy emblem was delaminating. You can see there's water back in there. The color, you can see where it's shiny and then where it's not. It was all oxidized, and we were gonna kind of just maybe paint this black, but man, if you can swap to chrome for less than $100, why not? So seems like the way we're gonna go. Thing I did do and I didn't record was my friend had this older like bottom of the line radio, and these quit working. The knobs, they would work intermittently and kind of had to wiggle them. So we went to the salvage yard as well and got this one that's got a CD player in it. And I don't know if, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. On the back of the unit is a plug. You literally just unplug that. If you're getting it from the same vehicle or same likeness of vehicle, your plug will plug right back in. If not, you may need to wire splice. But I mean, that's a pretty straightforward swap. I just did want to show that it is. Make sure if you are going to do this, there is bolts, well, there's 3 of them, screws rather, in this. Don't just start pulling on this. It will snap off very easy. There's also a hidden one. Can I get it? Yeah, it's not going to, right there. So there's a hidden one right underneath here, right in here. So, which I do need to put back in. This is what they look like. And so yeah, that's just another thing that I did for him. Just doing some upgrades. This radio was garbage, and instead of, I like to keep things as factory as possible. The factory, they did a lot of R&D. They've looked through, they've checked, they know what works. And so I'm not saying aftermarket is junk. I can appreciate the clean look of an OEM setup. So, but yeah, and then you just pull this ashtray just comes right out, and boom, we're back in business. We're gonna go ahead and give this a try here. We'll put the key in, and boy, it works. It looks like, yep, these knobs are working. So we're good to go. He's gonna be superbly happy with that. All right, so we've got the new horns installed. I had to clearance them a little bit. I had to bend the bracket just a smidge to get them to fit behind the grill nicely, but there's no pressure against the grill, so I don't assume there will be any rattling. I think my friend's going to be very happy with this grill setup and the way that I've tucked his horns away. And so we're going to go ahead and try it out for the first time on the vehicle. We're going to give it a beep, and let's see what it sounds like. Oh. Okay, well, I wasn't ready. Scared to live in. I need a new underwear now. You can't I was gonna tell you, say, you know, like go ahead and beep it. Anyway, it's quite a bit louder. It actually sounds like a train as opposed to the other ones sound like, you know, one of those young kids bikes with the little, you know, the thumb press bell on it. So I think we're gonna be good at that. We're going to do a few other things that my friend wanted me to do on the vehicle, and other than that, thanks for watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button down below. We are going to be bringing you content whenever we can, whenever something pops up, whenever I feel like it's something that someone somewhere might be interested to watch. I'm going to go ahead and try to record it, throw an edit on it real quick, and throw it up for you guys. So wherever you're at, I hope you're having a good day. Remember, keep the smash theory in the back of your mind. Let's not get hurt out here. Let's enjoy life. Let's help others. Let's just have some fun.
Sing along.